You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? I always ask that of all my prey.
No, I don't really talk to my ex-girlfriend anymore. Zing!
Welcome to Last Call. I'm Shawn Proctor.
I'm Kevin Dragone.
And tonight we are going to switch it up a little bit. Tonight we're going to have a bar fight. That means we take two things that are both pretty awesome and we pit them against each other. In this case, I have Batman 89 against
The Dark Knight.
So it's Christopher Nolan's greatest against Tim Burton's greatest, and let the best win.
So as far as beer selection goes, we are taking a beer with a similar style but completely different breweries that we each like, that has their own, that's significant in their own ways. The beer that I picked is from Troegs Brewing Company, located in Hershey, PA, the Perpetual IPA. And Shawn, you picked
Hop Devil, Victory's staple, mainstay beer. First time I had it, didn't like it. Second time I had it about a couple months later, didn't really like it. I'll tell you, about 2 to 3 months later, I started thinking about that beer and going, I really, really wanted to have another one. And it's kind of been that way since then.
I actually had a Troegs beer rep tell me it's an Imperial Pale Ale. It's at 7.5, really good body, a lot of flavor, and it just really stood out. So these are beers that we highly recommend. If you're an IPA fan, these beers are for you, but each are significantly different in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, let's get down to the reviews.
Vicky Vale.
Bruce Wayne.
And what do you do for a living?
Lieutenant, is there a 6-foot bat in Gotham City?
Nice outfit.
In Batman 89, we have a symmetry. Basically, you have Batman was created when Bruce Wayne's parents were killed by Jack Napier. Conversely, you have Joker being created when Batman goes on and drops him into a vat of chemicals. That sets him on a collision course, which takes the rest of the film, and puts two actually very awesome hero and villain to destroy one another.
Awesome.
So what are you proposing?
It's simple. Kill the Batman.
Bruce, this is Harvey Dent.
Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not.
The Dark Knight takes place after Batman Begins, where Commissioner Gordon and Batman are working together to take back the streets of Gotham. In this movie, they team up with District Attorney Harvey Dent and go up against the mob and the newest threat to hit the streets, the Joker. Awesome.
So Batman 89 is the most unlikely cast of all. You get Michael Keaton as Batman, Jack Nicholson as Joker, Kim Basinger playing Vicky Vale, and it's just like Tim Burton is directing it, it makes almost no sense. It's a complete group of people who almost have no experience going into anything having to do with Batman at all, and somehow, some way, it's like Bad News Bears. They just start hitting home run after home run. It's ridiculous. It should not have worked, but there it is. It's somehow futuristic and yet retro. It's gothic, it's dark, but yet in some ways it's still very approachable by kids, which is something that I think is very surprising about the movie. Then, also, when you look at the drama in the movie, it's really good. Some of the special effects, admittedly, are not quite up to date, but when you think about it, they're using the technology of the time to make pretty much a fantasy world where almost anything can happen. It's this epic sort of battle between what is the quintessential evil, who is so enticing and passionate and just, I mean, Jack Nicholson as Joker takes over every scene he's in. He's so frightening and so interesting to watch. Then you have Batman, who does actually have some awesome detective skills to be able to stop the Smilex chemical. And then, you know, he comes on and wipes out some of the foes before going on and killing the Joker.
Love that Joker.
Oh, Absolutely. Actually, it's really hard not to like the Joker when he starts dropping some of the one-liners about, this town needs an enema. But don't drink when I'm making jokes.
Those were jokes?
Sorry. But anyway, so absolutely, this film, when I watched it again, I feel the same way as I did when I went to go see it in the theater, and the lines were out the door for weeks. It was like a huge thing, and it made Batman cool to wear again.
Alright, just like in his film, I'm just gonna shove him to the side. Alright, so The Dark Knight, cast-wise, Oscar caliber. You have Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne Batman, who not looks the part physically. I mean, this is a guy who actually worked out, who looks intimidating. He looks good in the suit and outside the suit. He has played douchebag after douchebag. I mean, movies like American Psycho and Shaft are great examples of why he is perfect for Bruce Wayne and Batman. You have Michael Caine, who just is the great, amazing comic relief. That and Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, which was a character that they never even introduced other than Batman Begins and any of the other franchises, who is in the comic books, who is in part of building all the technology. So like, that's a thing. Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face. I mean, the guy nailed both sides of the coin. I mean, that guy, if you ever saw Thank You for Smoking, I mean, that is a perfect example of why he makes sense as this district attorney. The person who stole the film, who made it, went above and beyond, was the late Heath Ledger. Nobody could see it, not even me. And then they showed pictures on the internet that went viral where they actually show him in the makeup. And when we saw Batman Begins, what Chris Nolan was going for was a really grounded version of Batman in the real world. Like, the biggest scenes in the film, that are some of my favorites, all have the Joker. I mean, Batman, big part of the film, but really takes a back seat. And the thing that I love the most, that made him almost seem completely inhuman, was the way he licked the scars. It almost made him look like a rabid dog.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're tonight's entertainment. And here we go.
He talks a lot about voices. I want to talk a lot about voices too. I want to talk about the fact that The Dark Knight sounds like a Scooby-Doo movie. He's like, it's ridiculous. He may look great in the costume. I don't think the costume is that great. It looks fine. He's moving in it, but there's like lots of weird voice effects all throughout that series. Bane has a dumb voice. Batman has a dumb voice. Scarecrow has a dumb voice. I mean, Joker is the one guy who gets away without having this idiotic voice, and that may be to his credit. So that's a huge ding on those movies. The other thing is, when you watch Batman '89, you get the sense that there's almost anything that can happen. Batman, you want to talk unpredictable?
Maybe a good movie will happen.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. It's unpredictable. You bring in that cast, you have no concept of what's going to happen. You get these guys who's like, Mr. Mom? What is he doing in a superhero movie, right? But, was it 50,000 letters come in with Michael Keaton being Batman, and he just crushes it. That movie, Joker is like going through and just wrecking art galleries. He's going and having parades where he's gassing people. That is completely unpredictable. You want to talk about, oh my God, he has a completely set up bank attack. He has a completely set up ferry. I mean, with the prisoners and the regular folk, and it's completely orchestrated. He knows exactly what he's doing the whole time. Nothing is unpredictable. He's like setting it like clockwork, because Christopher Nolan, in every movie he ever does, has to have the dominoes. The dominoes always are falling in a line. Even Joker can't be unpredictable. He has to have the cell phone in the guy's stomach. He has to have the way out of the prison and the jail. He has to have the two people set up there. It is like this perfect little dollhouse.
I have given a name to my pain.
What are you? I'm Batman.
So, as far as Batman 89 goes, they kind of negate everything that made Batman Batman. For the longest time in the comics, before that film and after, Batman is against murder and killing. He's about justice. He's not above the law. In this film, they throw that out the window. He is completely fine with being reckless, being a vigilante, and doing whatever he has to do to get the job done.
That's why I'm wearing this shirt, because he exterminates. He's the Punisher Batman. You know what? You don't come back because he just killed you.
Isn't that R2-D2?
Yeah, it's my fault you're not a Whovian. Right, sure, whatever.
Who?
The end.
Batman has standards. He has ideals. And he's not going to kill.
Except Ra's al Ghul, which he lets him fall in a train.
He didn't have... That's a whole other movie and a whole other argument. Michael Keaton as the choice of Bruce Wayne, he doesn't even look the part, nor as far as preparation goes, he didn't even try. He looks like the everyman. I mean, he has this whole entire arsenal of gadgets and these costumes and this Batmobile that's voice activated and can shield up, but we don't see how these elements come into play. Like, we just assume Batman built everything.
Because he's awesome, he's Batman.
Not to mention, this is a Batman who is willing to give up his secret identity for a lay. He slept with her once. He goes to her apartment,
Embracing her.
ready to tell Vicky Vale, a journalist, that he's Batman. And Jack Nicholson as the Joker plays Jack Nicholson. Alright, so that wraps up our first bar fight. What do you guys think? Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, who's your Batman? And what do you think about Batfleck in the next reboot for the Man of Steel? Put it in the comment section below. Remember to follow us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, and see what we thought about these beers on Untappd. Everything's below. Make sure to subscribe. Have a good night.
Cheers.
Cheers.